All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Maharacha, Kodash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of GMS, Great Millstone, and all your brothers throughout the four winds, laboring in truth and sincerity. Shalom and Barakatham. I'm Rakamayam, back at you with a history lesson. And 4 months ago, I did a history lesson touching on the four rivers, but I mentioned two of those rivers, which were the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers, found written in Genesis, the second chapter. And I also went into the meaning of Mesopotamia and what Mesopotamia means, and I brought out the location of these particular bodies of water and also Mesopotamia. So I went into that history, right? But today, Lord willing, I go into the Paisan and the Gihon rivers, or the body of waters. The Paisan and the Gihon. I'm going to start in Genesis chapter 2 and verse 10. And I want to mention this too. Oh, and you know, when you come into the truth, I'm going to say it. The elders say it, and why not? It is nothing wrong for me to say this, but some of you brothers have your brain in your pocket. Your brain is in your pocket. You know the saying, your hand is in your pocket. You ain't striving to become a better man. You're not striving to study. You're not doing nothing but being stagnant. You taking up space, right? I mentioned to a few brothers that I camp with or a brother that I camp with, that you have to be well-rounded. I actually did a video last week on one of my other pages that you have to be well-rounded when you come into this thing. You have to learn this, you have to know some of this, you have to know some of that. And that is what makes a strong camp. If a brother knows, he studies, and this brother is studying, this brother's on his game, or that brother's on his game, that becomes a strong camp. Because now, brothers, if you're lacking in a specific department, another brother could pick up that slack, so to speak. Oh, I got you. I got you. He's more like in a political, like he could cover the political aspect of this thing. Another brother might know the history. Like, wow, like, man, he could cover that. Okay, I got you. Nah, this took place such and such. Okay, Babylon was taken down by Cyrus the Great in 539 BC. I got you. Let me break this down. That's what makes a strong camp, being balanced. And that's what I mean by well-rounded. You have to be balanced. We are a body, okay? The body has to be even, not uneven. There has to be it has to be equal. So, right. So some of you dudes got your brain in your pocket. So let's start Genesis 10 and Genesis 2 and verse 10. It says here, and a river went out of Eden to water the garden. Right, that river is the Jordan River, which is the Most High's favorite river, by the way. The Jordan River. He has favorites. Matter of fact, yeah. So let's grab that. The Most High has favorites. Let's type in river here. River should pop up. I was reading it yesterday. River. River. Hold on. But these inches were narrow and like a river. Flow the one river. Yeah. Okay. This second Ezra chapter 5, and let's start at verse 23 or verse 22. And my soul recovered the spirit of understanding, and I began to talk with the Most High again, and said, Second Ezra 5 and 23, and said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth and of all the trees thereof, that has chosen thee only one vine, and of all lands of the whole world, that has chosen thee one pit. And that's what? Israel. A pit is likened, or lands are likened unto pits. And of all the flowers thereof, one lily. And of all the depths of the sea, that has filled thee one river. Right? That Jordan River. And of all builded cities, that hast hallowed Sion unto thyself. So the Most High has a favorite. He chose the Israelites for salvation. He gave the Israelites the blessings, which we're going to receive and have in the kingdom, okay? And it goes on to say, and of all the fowls that are created, that has named thee one dove, and of all the cattle that are made, that has provided thee one sheep. And among all the multitudes of people, that has gotten thee one people, that's the Israelites. And unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest the law that is approved of all. Right? So it began in the Garden of Eden, but mainly where what they call the Fertile Crescent, really in Israel. That's where everything begins, because the scriptures do say that what? Jacob is the former of all things. So, and that river is the Jordan. Genesis 2 and 10. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into four heads. The bodies of waters were parted. Verse 11. The name of the first is Pison. That is it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and the onyx stone. Bdellium, aromatic resin, yeah? Okay. So let's go into Pison. Let me see what it says here. It means increase, Pison. It's probably not going to tell you that much. Overflowed Pison, river which floweth from the Garden of Eden. See, they got India here, which is off. So we got to do some more research. Let's go look Havilah. So it encompasses Havilah. To circle a part of Eden through which flowed the river Pison. Eden, or actually was probably the Greek. A district in Arabia of the Ishmaelites, named from the second son of Cus. Okay, so probably the district Kulan in the northwestern part of Yemen. That's correct. Okay, so Arabia, Yemen. So now it said it went around Havilah, right? Or encompasses, that is that it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah. Now we're going to look at Havilah. This map is off, brothers. Bear with me. I couldn't find a real, like a better map. This is off. But Havilah is in Arabia, or what you call Saudi Arabia, right? Havilah, which says Sheba. Okay, so what body of water is next to Havilah? Right? The Red Sea. The Red Sea. Havilah. Right? Havilah. So the Pison will be the Red Sea. Havilah. Okay, and yes, there is gold in that land, in Arabia. Okay, or around that region. There is gold, there is resin. Right? And let's prove, also, let's go into Genesis 25. Genesis 25, and I'm going to read about Ishmael. Now, he's a generation of Ishmael. Okay, let's see. According to Ishmael, Okay, this is talking about Ishmael. Let's start at verse 17, where the sons of Ishmael will be dwelling at. Genesis chapter 25 and verse 17. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael. In 137 years, and he gave up the spirit and died, and was gathered unto his people. And he gave up the ghost and died, and was gathered unto his people. And they dwelt from Havilah unto Shur, that is before Egypt, as thou goest toward Assyria. And he died in the presence of all his brethren. So that clearly tells you that Ishmael was in Havilah, or Saudi Arabia. So let's look at the map again. Okay, Havilah. Yes, they were all in Arabia, but that body of water is not talking about the Persian Gulf, right? It's talking about here, the Red Sea, or what they call there's other names for it. The Red Sea, Red Sea. That ain't the original name of it, I believe. Who named the Red Sea? The Greeks or something like that, but anyway. Now you see Egypt there, right? So the first river or body of water is the Red Sea. And that's the Pison River. So this is Genesis chapter 2 and verse 11. Let's read it again. The name of the first is Pison. That is it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium, resin, and the onyx stone. And we know that Ishmaelites deal with a lot of like incense and resins and things of that nature, which really comes from us though. Okay, let them have that now. We're going to get all that and then some in the kingdom. They can have that. That's why the Most High said he blessed the sons of Ishmael. They're not going to receive the promise, but they have a blessing. They live in Saudi Arabia. They have they're in Yemen and stuff like that. They're in what they call it, Dubai. Just Genesis chapter 2 and verse 13. And the name of the second river or body of water is Gihon. The same is it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. Come on, we should all know what that river is. So the second river is Gihon. Now, like I said, bear with me with this map. It's not the best. They're going off on certain things, but okay. You already know that Tigris is up there, the Euphrates. I covered that already. Okay. Now, what land is in Ethiopia? What river is in Ethiopia? The Nile River. You see the Nile River? That's a great body of water. It's a lot of water there. It might not look like it here on this map, but it is. The Nile River. So that will be the second body of water. Let's read it again. Genesis 2 and verse 13. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. Right, where those fake, where the Philistin Jews live, the Ethiopians, which go back to Cush, or the Cushites Kawash. And that's the Nile River. All right, it's not hard to break down, but that's the Nile River. Now I want to grab the source here. These are all, by the way, the Gihon and the Pais, all that came from the Greeks. They named it the Euphrates as well, and they named it also the Hiddekel. I don't know who named that. Maybe I mentioned it in one of my last videos or whatever, but the Euphrates was named by the Greeks. That's not the original name of it, but let's grab this from the Flavius Josephus, The Antiquities of the Jews, 1 and 39. It says here, verse 39, Euphrates also, as well as Tigris, goes down into the Red Sea. They're going off on certain things. Now the name, Euphrates also, the Tigris goes down to the Red Sea. Now the name of Euphrates, or that's why you take the meat from the bones, or Phrath donates either a dispersion or a flower. By Tigris or Digloth is signified what is swift, with narrowness, and Gion runs through Egypt and donates what arises from the east, which the Greeks call Nile. So Gion, the Greeks call it the Nile River. So the Greeks tell you that. They know what the Gion is. If they know, you don't think we should know? I'll be damned if an Edomite can break down these scriptures better than I can. I'll be fucking pissed off. No, yeah, you might forget certain things. You might not mention every single thing in the video, but damn, I'll be damned. An Edomite breaking down, telling you, like, no, salvation is only for you people. Yeah, and they're breaking it down better than you can. You'll be pissed the hell off. So the Greeks named it the Nile River. So they even know that the Nile River is the Gion. Or the Gion is the Nile River. And there's a lot more you could bring out. There's, I believe, a scripture in Sirach, the 24th or 25th chapter that goes into the bodies of water. You can read that. All right. And with that, Lord willing, was edifying. Like I said, the map is not the best map. But you could get a feel to these maps. Because I could look at a map. It doesn't even have to say the names. It could be like a blank map, but just like the shape of the map, and I could point out exactly where this particular place is at. This city, Antioch, Syria, because you get used to it, and that's what studying does. When you study and you meditate, the word meditation. I was just speaking to a brother over the phone last night. The word meditate means to plot. The scriptures tell us in Psalms 1. Matter of fact, yeah, let's grab that. Psalm 1 and verse 2. Let's start at verse 1. Psalm 1 and verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord. You're supposed to rejoice. When you read, you study, you're supposed to, it's like a relief, a comfort to your body, to your mind. When you read and study, right? But his delight is in the law of the Lord. And in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. That's the spirit. But we meditate, we plot. Yeah, when you look up that word meditate, me and a brother is Haggah. Me and a brother went over it yesterday. Haggah. To devise, plot, meditate, meditation. Look what it says down here. To study. Now, what scriptures should come to mind? 2 Timothy 2 and verse 15. You have to grow in this thing. You might have little slips of the tongue, which I have. I have plenty of I slip with the tongue. Brothers do, but we know what we're talking about. Right? 2 Timothy 2 and 15. And this is what the Apostle Paul told his son Timothy in the faith to do. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh Shai, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed. Now, what does a workman do? He studies, right? Someone who works is studying. He's occupied, right? A workman that needeth not to be ashamed. He doesn't have his brain or his mind in his pocket, right? Or his hands in his pocket. A workman that needeth not to be ashamed, but he's flipping the pages over. He's searching out. He's going on Google. He's searching out information. A workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So study. Meditate. Get an understanding. Read. Blessed is the man that readeth. Give attendance unto reading. The scriptures say to give attendance unto reading. Read. Study. Lord willing, this video was edifying. Little history lesson. And with that, shalom until the next one. Lord willing, or Adonam Ratazat. Lord willing. Shalom.